Innocent
One of the worst things, guys, that we can do is to leave our partner when we have an argument. We all have arguments. This is something totally normal. We have it, and this is something not to be ashamed of. Nothing to be ashamed of. In a relationship nowadays, we're living in a society where there's a lot of tension going on. There's a lot of stress going on. We are busy. We're working. We have to make ends meet. We have to do so many different things in our lives. And if you're in a relationship with your partner or with anyone, then arguments is something that will happen. There will always be situations where you come into a circumstance where you have maybe different opinion, a different perspective of one another. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We all have these things. We all have these things. We are busy people. And when we're in a relationship with our partners and we are so close to one another, then things can happen where we have a conflict. It's totally normal. But when we have an argument, which can happen very frequently, especially if you have differences of opinion, the worst thing you want to do is to leave your partner in an argument. Let's say, for example, late at night, you have an argument. You have a discussion that's very heated. You have two different perspectives. You're yelling, you're screaming at one another, and then you just go to sleep. This is a bad idea. First of all, you're not having a solution. You're just going to sleep just like that. When you wake up in the morning, what could happen is that maybe your partner will never wake up again. And then you're going to be sitting there and you're going to be crying, and you're going to say to yourself, why didn't I apologize to him? Why didn't I apologize to her? Why didn't we talk this out? Now you're going to have this feeling inside of you for the rest of your life because you never really came to the conclusion. You never really discussed it with your partner. You never really talked it out. I understand that we all need to have a break. I understand that we all need some space once in a while. But this is something that you need to have to just communicate with your partner. What I'm saying is if you need to have some space, if you need to have time for yourself in a heated argument, then at least make the agreement with your partner. Say, hey, I need to have some space. Can we talk about this maybe tomorrow? Then at least your partner knows that, and you told your partner about that, so your partner can go to sleep in peace, knowing that tomorrow you're going to be talking this out and finishing it up before you go back to normal. It is so sad when I see people do that. It is so sad when people are getting into arguments, which is totally normal, but they're just leaving. Imagine you have a fight. You're fighting, and then your partner just storms out and says, I'm tired of you. I don't want to see you no more. Or I need a freaking break right now. I'll be back later. And you just drive off, and your partner is home alone, and you just taking off, going somewhere, and something happens. You get into a freaking car accident, and you're dead. You're dead, and your partner at home is going to be like, why didn't I talk this out? Why did I let him go? Why did I let this person go? Now I have all the grief, and I will never have a chance to go back to apologize. I will never have a chance to say I'm sorry what I did. Now you're going to be living with this grief all your life. For the person who is dead, well, you're dead, so you probably don't know anymore. Okay? However, this is why it is so important, guys, that you never leave your partner in an argument. You need to talk things out. You need to talk it out, or at least agree to say, you know what? Give me an hour, give me 2 hours. Let's walk our different ways, and then we're going to meet again here at 2 o'clock. But even then, you never know what's going to happen between those 2 hours. You never know what's going to happen between this 1 hour, okay? You're never going to know that. You are never going to know that. And this is why it is so important, guys, that you are really thinking about what you're doing. I would highly recommend that if you do get into the argument, which is normal, which happens, that you talk it out. However, sometimes things get heated. Sometimes we have no control. Maybe it gets a little physical. I don't know if talking out is a good idea. But in that case, you shouldn't have been together in a relationship in the first place. You should have never been together in a relationship in the first place. Talk it out, guys. You need to talk it out. Don't go to sleep in an argument, because this is the worst thing you guys can do.